that he did that interview with that DaBaby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? How he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house and how Beyonce presented herself to him, and she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him.
Somebody go out there to the mansions in the Hamptons and check on Beyonce. They say she strung out on.
Hold on, not people saying DaBaby was right about Beyonce this whole time? Beyonce and Jay-Z have been doing the most to pull themselves away from Diddy, but it looks like canceling a few Roc Nation brunches won't be enough. And if that wasn't messy already, 50 Cent announced that he's dropping a documentary exposing Jay-Z and Beyonce. And yes, according to him, it will call out their rumored ties to Diddy's behavior. Ever since Diddy's arrest and 50's documentary tease, folks online swear Jay and Beyonce cannot be totally unaware. People say they must have heard, seen, or known something, and Baby already said Beyonce showed up at one of Diddy's gatherings. Basically, he shared a story about getting invited to Diddy's home for a supposed private talk. He thought it would be just business between them, but when he arrived, other entertainment people were already there, including Jay-Z and Beyonce. And this is where things allegedly turned weird. DaBaby said Diddy set everyone else out the room, leaving only them and Jay-Z and Beyonce. At first, he still expected a business chat, but he quickly sensed they were on a whole different vibe. He claims Beyonce came toward him, greeted him like he didn't know who she was, and the rest of the moment turned into something unexpected.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in
right
at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
Girl, this sent the internet into a total spin, and many people started giving Beyonce the side eye. One person commented, "So DaBaby was doing the bending? After everything he said about the gays, he's acting just like them? Oh, she walked over and introduced herself to you? The Beyonce introducing herself to you? Whew, now we're talking." Around the same time this whole drama was trending, well-known lawyer Ariel Michelle added fuel when she said in an interview that someone contacted her about handling the sale of what they claimed was a freak-off video featuring Diddy and a major public figure.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge. Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
Oh my.
Ariel explained that she personally viewed the clip, and the celebrity in it was supposedly even more famous than Diddy. And honestly, there are only a few people in the business bigger than Diddy. With DaBaby's interview spreading everywhere, people immediately started guessing Beyonce first. Jaguar Wright also commented on this online. She said the reason DaBaby didn't spill too many details was because Shannon works closely with Jay and Bey on his NFL dreams, and the last thing he wanted was to let DaBaby ruin that for him by trashing their names.
What he is a broke-down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the NFL. Interview with that DaBaby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shay. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let DaBaby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house.
The interview had people connecting dots fast, and the baby story made the rumors spread even more. Folks already had theories about Jay and Beyonce, but they felt he basically confirmed everything. And the kind of ideas going around were wild. Some people even suggested Jay was allegedly letting Beyonce be around Diddy, and they said he kept her controlled through a mix of different substances, the same way people said Diddy used to treat Cassie.
Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
Then there was that viral clip of Beyoncé looking completely spaced out at a basketball game with Jay-Z. She could hardly keep her eyes open and kept slowly swaying her head from side to side, trying not to fall asleep. Rumor has it she was still worn out from whatever she allegedly took the night before during a supposed freak-off gathering with Diddy and Jay. Her PR team at that time tried to calm things down by saying she was simply exhausted from rehearsals, but the public didn't buy it. Soon after, Beyoncé's assistant reportedly told Media Takeout that Jay had been rough with Beyoncé. The assistant shared, "For a while, he struggled with keeping his hands to himself. I've never seen him hit B directly, but I've seen him push and shove her too many times. At first, I thought it was harmless playing, but once I saw how embarrassed she was when he handled her that way in Saint-Tropez, I realized it wasn't a joke. I've been around Beyoncé for years, and I wanted to say something, but I didn't think it was my spot. He treats her like an item instead of a real person." Gossip YouTuber Storm Monroe later claimed Diddy's legal case is why Beyoncé keeps releasing non-stop products and tours. He said she's unsure what her career might look like by the end of this year and wants to save as much as possible. If you remember, she released Ivy Park with Adidas, then it faded. Then she launched the Renaissance Tour, dropped a movie, released Cowboy Carter, put out Perfume and Tequila, and then went on yet another tour. Storm said she's worried Diddy's situation might drag her into trouble too.
And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah 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 blah." Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. as far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she knows.
Now, about 50 Cent, he has been on Jay-Z's neck since the start of this Diddy drama. After Diddy's arrest, 50 made several posts, including one with Jay's face on a milk carton saying, "Anybody seen Jay?" Puff said the man ain't answering his phone. Then he posted another pic of Jay captioned, "Here is Jay-Z, last seen waving at Puffy's jet, LOL." And just when people thought 50 was finished being messy, he uploaded a rough photo of Jay-Z with the words, "Jay in hiding. He's not stepping outside till all this Puff chaos passes. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner, LOL. I'm all you got." When Jay-Z's alleged son Rai dragged him to court for paternity, 50 also jumped in. He posted a picture of Rai and Jay-Z with the caption, "Jay-Z trending because the judge let Rai move forward with his case, and Jay must answer by July 18th. Hashtag Jay-Z." Girl, I don't know what Jay did to 50, but if the rumors about him working on a documentary about Jay and Beyonce are real, then they might be in for a stressful ride. You all saw what he did to Diddy with that Netflix documentary. Meanwhile, people online shared their own thoughts, like one who wrote, "I'm sorry, but Beyonce isn't completely innocent. She knew something. Oprah, Ellen, Jay-Z, and others should fall too. They're silent about the child allegations, and that's a charge." Another person said, "I don't believe Beyonce is a victim. She knew about the parties and went with her husband. There's more coming." Now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about 50 Cent calling out Beyonce and Jay-Z? And do you believe Beyonce has any connection to this situation? Drop your thoughts below in the comments, and click here to watch another messy video.